Hey guys, Jeeps here, and welcome to a huge blast from the past. That's right, Final Fantasy VII. Oh yeah. So, I'm sure right now a few of you are wondering, A, why am I covering a console game? B, why specifically am I covering Final Fantasy VII? Well, first of all, I'm not covering a console game, because this actually just got, I guess, re-ported to PC. For those of you who don't know, Final Fantasy VII was ported to the PC way back in '98, which I believe was the year it came out originally on PlayStation. I don't remember. And that's actually the version I played. I didn't own a PlayStation, or an original PlayStation. So, this was my option. Got it at Staples when I was a little kid. How's that for a thing? Staples used to sell PC games. They might still. I don't know. I haven't been into Staples in freaking forever. But that was a thing, and that's how I played Final Fantasy VII, and it was an okay port. The controls were a little overly complicated. For whatever reason, they had you using the numpad, and they gave you this little overlay you could put on your keyboard, so you knew what every key did, and it was a nightmare. It was so many buttons. What else did it do? It had crappy quality music compared to the PlayStation 1, which was a pain. And it did have the advantage of you had pretty much infinite save slots because it was on a hard drive, so that was cool. And it has since grown a very large modding scene, but it does have the critical problem of you can't really play it easily on a modern system, which left people in my position who can't really load it on their modern computers easily and don't own a PlayStation, and in my case I'm actually also missing one of my discs, but that's beside the point. What the hell do we do if we ever want to go back and play Final Fantasy VII again? And now we can do that for 10 bucks from Square. Yeah, keep milking this one. It's a good game. But, so like I was saying, you can get this for 10 bucks on the Square Enix eStore, which is actually a thing. I didn't know that existed until I got this. But I'm, for one, pretty excited. Now, one kind of cool feature is they did very slightly improve the graphics. This obviously isn't the big remake so many people have been wanting, but, well, it's going to be hard to tell if you haven't played FF7 for a while, because this is going to look exactly like you remember. I kind of love these little blocky polygon guys. They got a lot of emotion out of some very, very, very basic 3D models back in the day. But what they pretty much did is improved the shading and, I don't want to say anti-aliasing, but the jagged edges on all the diagonals for Cloud's hair specifically, mostly gone. And the shading on the, again, I'm not sure if texture is the right word, it's really just solid colors, but again, it's better. Now, let's cut to the original graphics. This game has the option to play in original graphics or updated graphics, and you can see exactly what I mean. And back again, like I said, a little bit smoother. I mean, it's not like it's a huge difference, but hey, it's cool nonetheless. Let's get this potion. Alright, so what else does this port contain, other than battles, much like you would remember from the original game? Well, it has cloud saves. See what I did there? Cloud saves. That's so clever. So yeah, it has cloud saves. It also has achievements, which I feel are a huge missed opportunity. So there's gonna be minor spoilers here. The achievements are really boring. The achievements are for, like, completing Disc 1, Disc 2, Disc 3, or Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, I guess. It's not on discs anymore. But, yeah, it's not that exciting. And then, obviously, for beating specific bosses, getting everyone's final limit breaks, that's like half the achievements right there. Using limit breaks the first time. Beating the hidden bosses, Emerald and Ruby weapon, that one's pretty decent. Much also getting a gold Chocobo, however you want to pronounce it. Getting Knights of the Round, stuff like that. But there are some missed opportunities here. For example, I think there should have been an achievement for all of the dates that you can get in the Gold Saucer. That was kind of a cool challenge. In fact, last time I was playing through this game with friends, we were trying specifically to get the Barrett date, which is really hard to do. Also, the Yuffie date is very hard to do. Both of those are very, very tricky. Those should have been achievements. Why? Because that's a really cool, tricky challenge in this game. That would have been a cool little extra replay kind of thing to do. Likewise, I feel they could have thrown in some maybe for the Fort Condor minigame. Come on, this was super early tower defense, effectively. And there was a fun little minigame. A little frustrating. And the easiest way to do it was just let the enemy reach you and beat them. But still, it was still cool. Yeah, we'll just be Cloud. We're not going to play through too much of this. I just want this in the background while we talk about the port. So, in addition to achievements, and cloud saves, which are very, very nice, and the slightly updated graphics. There are some downsides. For one thing, it's the same game. There's nothing new added. They didn't add any new dungeons or anything like that. This isn't like, say, what's a more recent classic RPG port? Let's go with the DS port of Chrono Trigger. That was a good one. They added a whole extra area, which actually explained more stuff in the game. I believe it may have even helped relate more to Chrono Cross, which everyone loves, that they would do that. Finally! But what else does this have that's a bit of a letdown? Well, it's got some pretty awful DRM. It's got Securom on it. You can only install this game 3 times before you have to contact Square support to try and, I guess, get your installs back. Also, you requires an online activation and a Square Enix account. You will have the Square Enix account already if you bought the game, because you can't buy it without one. But that's a little bit. I don't think it requires you to be online the whole time you're playing. This isn't like the old Ubisoft DRM. Just, you have to be online when you turn the game on. And those limited installs, that's pretty nasty. So, in good conscience, unless you're in a position like me where you don't really have a way to play FF7 anymore, and you do like this game, and you don't want to pirate it or emulate it, because I'm not going to advocate piracy. Emulation, I'm in more of a gray area, but definitely not going to advocate piracy here. Then, not a bad deal. It's, like I said, it's $9.99 US. On the Square Enix eStore. I'm not sure what the price in Euro is, though I've heard it's also $9.99, which blows, because that's a lot more than $10. But, if you're in a position like me, this is pretty worth picking up. If you're not, if you can play FF7 Runaway through any other means, like if you still own it, you probably shouldn't bother. Now, if you've never played Final Fantasy VII before, and since emulating PlayStation games can be a little bit more of a pain in the ass if you were thinking of doing that than, say, you know, a SNES game or something, this could be worth picking up, because it is a classic game. An overrated classic game, don't get me wrong, this game is overrated as hell. Good, though. Good nonetheless. Not the best, FF6 is the best, but it's good, and people should play it. Even if it got overblown with the million sequels and prequels and whatever the hell Square decided to do with this game. Definitely worth trying if you haven't played it before. Definitely worth picking up if you just really need a way to play it. And I guess that's definitely picking up if you just really want to support Square in hopes of getting a remake of it. No real thought that that's going to happen, but who knows? But anyways, guys, that's going to be it for now. As always, like, subscribe, share this video with your friends. Leave a comment if you got anything you'd like to discuss. If you'd like to yell at me for saying this game's overrated. If you'd like to yell at me for saying FF6 is the best. Well, you're wrong in those cases. But again, that's just my opinion. I'm trying to be funny here. I'm not trying to actually say my opinion is fact. And, well, the game is overrated. Like I said, I think it's an excellent game. That doesn't make it not overrated. It's not the best game of all time. But yeah, you can yell at me for all that stuff in the comments. I'm sure someone is just grinding their teeth in anger. As always, I've been Jeeps, and this has been Final Fantasy VII. And I will talk to you guys later.